the invisible lords of our time, the rise of the modern feudal system. Beneath the glittering surface of modern capitalism lies an ancient evil, the rise of a new feudal order, where the masses labor under the invisible chains of corporate and financial dominance. In this age, where the semblances of liberty are overtaken by vast powers unseen yet deeply felt, there stands a bulwark of defense once envisioned by the framers of our republic, the constitutional principle of small government. Alas, this shield has been cast aside, leaving us vulnerable to the encroachments of a new order, a feudal system in all but name. As Slavoj Žižek, Gabriel Rockhill, and Fabio Vighi keenly observe, this modern hierarchy, though draped in the garb of capitalism and innovation, bears the oppressive weight of oligarchic dominance, with power and wealth consolidated in the hands of a few. What better remedy exists, then, than the vision laid forth by our forebears, who feared and sought to guard against the very tyranny that now grips us? A return to constitutional small government, limited in scope yet steadfast in its protection of individual liberty, offers not only a missed defense, but also a possible cure to this present malady. Our founders, inspired by the wisdom of history and the corruptions of unchecked power, designed a system that deliberately restrained the reach of government. They knew well the dangers of centralized power, wherein a few could exert dominion over the many. The US Constitution, with its intricate system of checks and balances, and its reservation of powers to the states and the people, was not merely a document of governance, but a safeguard against tyranny in any form. James Madison himself warned, the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary in the same hands, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. In their day, the enemy was monarchy or oppressive aristocracies. Today, Žižek, Rockhill, and Vighi point to the modern manifestation of feudalism, corporations, financial elites, and technocratic rulers who, through their vast economic power, now wield an influence over governments, markets, and the lives of men, as lords once did over serfs. In the words of Slavoj Žižek, we have entered a period wherein capitalism has become an instrument of oppression, concentrating wealth and power in the hands of a few oligarchs. This, Žižek notes, is the return of a neo-feudal order, where tech monopolies, corporations, and financial elites stand as the new lords over the masses. The irony is that in a system meant to elevate the individual, capitalism unchecked has come to mirror the very structures of medieval hierarchy. Yet, it need not be so. Had the constitutional vision of small government held firm, had the state been restrained in its ability to offer favor to corporate powers or to interfere in the free workings of the market, such monopolies could not have risen to their current heights. The constitutional limits on government were meant to prevent the intertwining of state and capital, to protect the people from becoming subjects to the elite. Indeed, had we adhered to these principles, we might now possess an economy where competition thrives, where no single corporation could exert lordship over the many, and where the state serves only as protector of individual rights, not a partner in oligarchic rule. Gabriel Rockhill speaks to another element of the modern feudalism, the control of ideology. He argues that cultural and intellectual production have become instruments of dominance, maintaining the power of global elites. Universities, media, and the arts, rather than being realms of free thought, are often bound by the interests of the few who fund them, shaping the minds of the many. The Constitution, in its defense of free speech and freedom of the press, was meant to serve as a bulwark against such control. By limiting government interference in the marketplace of ideas, the founders sought to ensure that no single entity, be it the state or private interests, could dominate the flow of information and thought. Small government, with its respect for the autonomy of individuals and institutions, would provide the fertile ground for true intellectual freedom, allowing dissenting voices to challenge the dominant narratives of the day. Fabio Vighi focuses on the financialization of capitalism, where the manipulation of markets and debt have become the tools of oppression. In this new order, financial elites, through banks, credit institutions, and speculative markets, control the very means by which people live and work. The state, rather than protecting the common man from these abuses, has become complicit, enacting policies that benefit these financial lords at the expense of the people. Here, too, the Constitution offers a remedy. By limiting the power of the federal government and decentralizing authority, it prevents the kind of collusion between government and financial institutions that enables this exploitation. Small government, in concert with a free and fair market, would not allow for the concentration of financial power in the hands of a few, nor would it permit the state to engage in the bailouts, subsidies, and monetary manipulations that have made such a system possible. The new feudalism, as described by Zizek, Rockhill, and Viggi, is not merely the result of natural market forces, but of a government that has grown too powerful, too entangled with the forces of capital and ideology. The framers of our Constitution warned against such an alliance, and yet, over time, we have drifted from their vision. In restoring the principles of small government, we could break the bonds of this new feudalism. A government limited in its powers, decentralized in its authority, and committed to the protection of individual rights would not allow for the rise of modern lords, be they corporate, financial, or ideological. A return to these founding principles would mean a return to a society where the individual, not the oligarch, is sovereign, where competition, not monopoly, is the rule, and where liberty, not domination, is the guiding light. As we stand at the crossroads of history, we would do well to heed the wisdom of our forebears. The tyranny we face today is not new, but it is preventable. The Constitution, with its insistence on limited government and individual rights, is not merely a relic of the past, but a powerful tool for the future. Let us take up this tool and, with it, strike down the new lords who would see us as their subjects. In so doing, we may yet restore the Republic to its rightful course.